Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a great week. Welcome to week 4 of the season. It sure is going by quick, and I've got some great video that I want us to look at this week. I want to thank Brian Ego for going out and shooting this video Friday night up at Chestatee. Got several plays that we want to look at, but I just want to make a comment about the crew. For you younger officials, if you'll go watch this game, you're going to see a lot of things done correctly by this crew. And I'm going to point out some of that tonight, but everybody does a great job of mirroring one another on the stop the clock signal. The deeps are doing obvious first downs. Everybody's stopping the clock early from what I could see. And I pretty much watched every play on this game, so kudos on the crew for doing a good job. But, just like any game, there's something we can always learn. And not everything in this was perfect. And that's okay because nobody's perfect. But I'm going to point out some really good things, and then I'm going to show some things that we can learn from. But you younger officials can really learn a lot by watching this crew work this game. We get a holding call right here from our referee, and he's looking right at his key. This is a great call. It's a good job staying with your key. Pretty good job of putting it on the spot of the foul as well. So nice job by the referee there on the holding call. On this play, this one we don't get. I think we could have a personal foul here. And I'm wondering who should see this. It's coming in right here at the end of the play. See how he comes in with his helmet right in the back? Remember, the defenseless player now is a player on the ground, and he's coming in and burying his head right in him. So umpire, wing official on this side of the field, maybe you could pick that up. I know over the last couple of weeks I've talked about wings running in on extra points and field goals. This is actually a field goal try, and this is what we want to see out of our wings once it breaks. And this went on all night long. It didn't matter if it was the fourth quarter, first quarter. These guys were pinching in. They were keeping an eye on the players and making sure they separated, and they were hustling in when they did it. On this play, we have a long run and have a fumble at the end of the run, I believe. Beanbags come out. But one thing that I would like to see the crew do is obviously we got a first down here. Ball comes out. Nice job of putting the beanbags down. We need to remember we got a lot of people. Our deep judge is stopping the clock, which is great, and our wings are following along right behind him. We got a lot of people watching here, and we want to see. Everybody's seen our beanbag come out. You got radio possibly. You got National Federation Network could be streaming. Let's give a signal here of who's got the ball. Because we've either got a first down and it's staying the way it's going or it's going the other way. So didn't really see a signal before the film cut off, but I'd like to see us get in there and actually give a signal, especially if we've ruled on a fumble. We call a blindside block on this play. I really don't think it's a blindside block. It looks like there's more hands involved. The umpire called it. I think he thought he saw a blindside block, but hindsight's 20/20, and it wasn't the person I had it circled around. It's not right there. It's right in here. And I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Right there. You see the arms and hands that he's pushing number 11 with? You see full extension of the arms. That's why I think this is not a blindside block. I think it was a clean block. But we ruled it as a blindside block, and our umpire's the one that called it. I think the hands were open, and I think he got him with his hands more than unloading on him with the shoulder. This is an example of a pass thrown to a slot receiver or a back, and the defender did not blow him up. we've been talking about these hits, but you can see he had his opportunity there, and you saw how he pulled up. That's what we're looking for these players to do. Either wrap up or go low or pull up the way he did there. This is goal line mechanics at the 10. And if you'll remember, once we're inside the 10, we want to work ahead of the ball. So watch our head linesman up here. He does a great job of trying to stay in front of the ball. Once he sees handoff, well, not handoff, but run play option, he's trying to get there, stay ahead of it. He's right where he needs to be, and he's working back where the tackle is. So that's a great job by our wing of trying to stay ahead of the play. Here's goal line mechanics. Very next play, dropping straight to the goal line. And that's what we want to see as a wing official once we're down inside the 5. Here's the extra point. And again, the wings are crashing in just like we want to see. You can see how far the wing is coming in. And that's what we want to see. Bad snap on a punt play here. Now, mechanics for punts, especially a bad snap, whoever is opposite the referee has got the goal line too. Just think about it. That would be if the referee's on this side of the kicker, which he is, I believe. And so that would be our head linesman. It's the one that's facing the referee on the opposite side of the field. So those two have got the goal line. Our line judge should stay up here near the line of scrimmage. A lot of things could happen. This was a deep snap, but our line judge is running downfield. That's not what we want to do. We've got the referee right here that's officiating, and our head linesman is doing all he can to get back there. Good job of hustling. But our line judge really needs to be back up the field here. So some good things there. Just remember whoever's opposite the referee on the other side of the field, facing him is the one that should be dropping downfield. The other one needs to hold. Just think if you had a pass thrown or something like that, lineman downfield, there's a lot of things that could happen. I know that was a deep snap, and very little chance of that happening on that one. But we had somebody at the goal line, and our line judge can do us a little better effort by staying up near the ball. This is a touchdown, and it's a long touchdown run near the near side of the field right here. And all I would say about this is great mechanics. Wing lets him get by him, but you can see he gets pretty close to the goal line, sideline. And what I'd like to see from our deep judge right here is right now give a peek back up the field just to make sure this guy didn't step on the line. Just give a peek back up the field at our wing guy and verify with him that he didn't go out of bounds. As you can see, he was close to the sidelines. He also got pushed right here. And you could probably tell, but right there's a pretty close shot of the sidelines. He's in bounds, but let's just give a glance back to our wing before we give that signal and make sure he's got him in bounds as well. Late signal's a good signal sometimes. All right. This is a run here, a pretty big run. Our field judge, for some reason, gets out on the field on this play before the play's actually over with. Not sure why, but there's no purpose in drifting out here on the field. If this guy was to break loose, now he's going to be running straight at you. And you want to be, you can see your partner up here, he's further down the field, and you want to be further down the field too. But the main thing I wanted to point out is there's no point in you being out on the field. Let's stay in the box in that restricted area and keep officiating back there. This is a false start. And again, this is one of those times where we just didn't think about stopping the clock. I'm going to show another one here in a few minutes. But we get a false start here. The umpire is going to call it. Right there, flag. I like the flag. I like going high with the flag. But you're giving your rolling fist signal. and you never did stop the clock. Your wings did as soon as they heard whistle, and that's a great job by them. But let's make sure our official that throws the flag, and umpires, if you noticed how high he got his flag in the air, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see on a false start or an illegal formation by the wings. On this play, we call a block in the back, and again, I don't think this is a block in the back. It's going to happen by one of these guys in the wings right here, and this is just my opinion. Some of you may disagree with me, and that's okay. Let me back up, kind of hiccuping. It's this guy right here. That to me looks a little bit more like it's in the side. He's using his hands. He pushed him right into the tackler. I just don't think I would throw that flag right there, given where it was. I would just rule it in the side. The guy made the tackle as well. So on this play, the tackler goes low, and this is another example of not blowing the guy up. The tackler goes low, he wraps his arms around him, his helmet's to the side. That's no foul right there. That's what we're looking for on these hits across the middle. We call a false start here. This time we do stop our clock, but again, for all you guys that are throwing flags on false start, look at the air he's getting right here. That's great. And now he's stopping the clock. So no hiccup that time, did it perfect. And that's what we want to see. This play, we got a big play here, and we kind of lose our cushion a little bit from our deep judge. He's already beat, so you gotta know your limitations as far as your speed, and there is no way we're going to beat this guy to the goal line now. We're not even going to be out of the way to let our wing get the spot. What I do like about the deep judge here is he keeps going. He ain't worried about the spot, and he's keeping his eye on these players. I'd just rather see him on down the field where he's supposed to be, and not losing that cushion. So when you see big play, know your limitations. You may need to start running a little bit sooner instead of later to stay ahead of it. On this play, we call an illegal shift, illegal motion. I'm not sure exactly which one, but we call it on this back right here who's going in motion. And again, I just don't think that's enough for us to be throwing a flag. It needs, to me, he needs to have a little bit more movement toward the line of scrimmage than that little half step right there. He's not going downfield, he's just blocking. That's one flag I think we could have done without. That's just my opinion. Let's make it big, let's make it count. This play is a wing official's nightmare right here. This is the scrambling quarterback. As you know, we're supposed to hold the line. We're at the 10. We're supposed to be in front of the stay ahead of the play. We're supposed to be at the goal line before he gets there. So what do you do when he comes at you? And our head linesman does about the best he can do right here. No doubt we're reading pass. So he's got a pass play, and the quarterback's coming his way. So somebody's got to, he's trying to hold the line of scrimmage like we're asked to do, but he's going to try to get ahead of the ball carrier or stay with the ball carrier at least and get down here and get a spot, because we do have a dive at the goal line. And that's one of the toughest plays for a wing official right there, and I think our head linesman did about as good as you can do of trying to officiate that play. He got the spot, got him short. The next play is this one is kind of where things, I think, maybe went south for the Crew a little bit, and ends up in a bad situation later on in the fourth quarter. But this is a short yardage play. We're about a yard to go, and we've got a very close spot right here. in wings, what we have to do when we have a close spot and we're not sure, we've got to get in there and we've got to mark the ball. Now our line judge is coming in. He's got a spot. Hard to tell exactly where the ball was when this went down. Looks like the knee goes down there, but he's reaching out with the ball. So, you know, he's going to be somewhere right around in here. And that's fine. You know, we can argue about a spot all day, but here's where we kind of lose our concentration. This guy's got the spot, and he's walking off. Our guy over here, he can't get it. There's too many people between him and them. So now we're going to try to come back and get our spot. So we're losing a little bit of credibility right here with the coaches. And on the next play, you can see we're bringing the chains out to do a measurement. And it looks like we may have the ball down where it's supposed to go. But we don't know because we give up our spot a little bit too early right there. I apologize about about how it's loading. Not sure why the coach is out here. He's probably talking to his team, or should be right there. But we're going to measure it, and you can see they got it by a football. And this was a close game at this time. I think a couple score difference. So let's bust it in there as a wing official. Let's get that ball and put it on our foot, or get in there to the pile. And whatever you do, don't walk off and leave your spot. Here's another one where our side judge loses his cushion on a big run. Not as bad, but again, we're going to have to turn and start running a little quicker because we don't have the wheels we used to. But we are a little bit behind, but that's okay. Let's learn from it. You got to learn on your big plays. You're going to have to turn a little quicker to start running. This is another good example of wrapping up the tackle. You know, we could have a defenseless player on a punt return. Ball bounces, but watch how he goes and he wraps his arm around him and he makes a tackle. He didn't lower the shoulder and try to blow him up. We call a block in the back on this play, and on this one I think it is a good call. And this is kind of where things go south the next couple of plays. It's strange that a coach would accuse you of cheating, but on the play before you're called for a personal foul, you call this team, the home team, for a block in the back. And he didn't take him to the ground, but he pushed him right by where he could make the tackle on the ball carrier. Just rode him right on by him. It's a great call right there by our wing. Now we go to the very next play where we just penalized the home team. And this one, this is the one that we got to start getting, and we get it here. I want to give credit to our field judge. We really should have had 3 flags on this. I would have loved to seen at least 2. We got a defenseless player. Bam! He gets lit up. Umpire could have seen it. Our wing could have seen it. Our deep judge could have seen it. But the one who stepped up and made the call, we also got some unsportsmanlike conduct going on right here with this guy jumping around and pumping his fist. But our field judge comes in and he makes the call. That hit was legal a few years ago. That hit's not legal anymore. And those are the ones that we've been talking about the last couple of weeks. Some people have been watching the video. We nutted up. We called it right here. We give the personal foul signal. And then here's where things start to go south. And again, this is a pretty good, pretty close game at this time. We're about to walk off the 15-yard personal foul. And here comes the head coach out onto the field. He's going to throw his headset. He's going to throw some papers. You're going to see that come into the screen right there. We cut the camera off and then we come back. And this is the most disappointing thing. We got players bumping officials right here. We got coaches screaming at officials. We got the head coach who's refusing to get off the field. And we got flags going everywhere. Our referee tried to talk him off the ledge. He tried to explain to him. These coaches really should be getting their coach instead of agging it on. Our officials could have walked this thing inside the 5. Our head linesman, he's trying to play good cop here. But this is just a great job by the crew of trying to talk these guys out of this. This guy running on the field, that's the principal of the high school, and he's come to drag the head coach away because he don't like the way he's behaving. So, ends up, head coach is ejected from the ball game. We could have ejected this guy. We could have ejected another coach. Like I said, we could have had so many fouls on this one particular play, this ball could have ended up inside the 5. Turns out we called a personal foul. I think we called a couple of more unsportsmanlike conducts, ejected the coach, and we go on to the next play. All of that has been seen by the GHSA. They agree that that is a foul. They agree that coach should have been ejected, that play, that hit is not legal anymore, and we've got their support 100%. They even asked my opinion if I thought the fine was heavy enough in a 1-game suspension. So, great job by the crew of handling a difficult situation. We've got a fumble out of bounds right here. Again, we're at the inside the 10. Look at the head linesman working ahead of the ball, gets to the goal line, backs up, and then the ball carrier, I don't know if he's going to reach, but he fumbles right there. Hard to tell from here, but it goes out of bounds about the 1-yard line. Our head linesman's in a perfect position to make the call. Now, young officials, if that ball would have went into the end zone, in bounds and out of bounds, we've got a touchback. But because it went out of bounds where our head linesman's standing, it's just a fumble. And the offense maintains the ball. But great job by our head linesman there working ahead of the play and ruling the fumble out of bounds before he reached the goal line. This next play is a holding on a kickoff. Another good call by the referee, who is focused on his keys. You know, he's got the ball carrier, and a lot of times we want to tend to keep our eyes on the ball carrier. But our referee is looking up here in front of this play, and he sees the nice takedown right there, right near where the ball carrier's trying to get to. And we call a holding right there, just slung him to the ground. But good job staying with your key. Last play I think we have, this onside kick. Like I said, this game was close, a couple of scores. And Lumpkin County had scored here, and they were going to try an onside kick. It's great use of the beanbag here. It looks like we've got first touching right there. So as you can see, we got beanbags coming out. Pretty good spot. Now we got to figure out who's got the ball. And the ball was given to the receiving team because the kickers actually touched it before it went 10 yards. So anyway, good job by this crew. Young officials, you are to watch this video if you want to see how to stop the clock automatically on first downs. There are several first down runs in this game where they pick it up by a yard or two, and the line judge and the head linesman, without even turning around and looking at the chains, knows it's a first down, and he is signaling as soon as the whistles are blowing. So great job. You can pick up some great mechanics, but like I said, there's always something to learn. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and hopefully we can get another one together next week. Have a great week, everybody.